Rambling Hour with Lisa, Season 9, Episode 3, coming to you live from my living room. So how is everyone? How are you on this Sunday? What is new with you? It is only November 6th, but because the, yes, that's true. I am on time. I know people will be surprised all over the place that I'm on time today and not late. But you'll hear Lena, the German Shepherd, talking in the background here. Yeah, grumble. So because, hello, because Remembrance Day, or Veterans Day, or whatever you call it where you are, if you celebrate it, is not, we call it Remembrance Day here and in Canada, and because it's on the 11th, that will be next Friday, which my next live will be after Remembrance Day, so I did the Remembrance Day theme for today. Hello everyone. I hope you all are good. Just ignore Lena's grumbling, although it is very cute when she talks like that. What? Yeah? Can you guys hear her? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I do this every Sunday. Why are you grumbling? Okay. Are you done? Yeah. Hello everyone. Okay, so welcome to Rambling Hour with Lisa, again, Season 9, Episode 3, and it is Remembrance Day themed, so that, remember on the 11th day, the 11th hour, the 11th month, that you take a few minutes of silence to remember all those who have served and are still serving in the military, and all those who have lost their lives, as well as those who are veterans and still don't have, we don't, in most countries, we don't take care of our veterans as well as we should have. Speaking of people who have passed away, this needs to be stitched up here, or I could patch it. I think I'm putting in a cool patch. But this is my papa's jean jacket. So it is just a short one. It's GWG. Very cute. I borrowed Steve's big poppy so you guys would be able to see it better. And you wear your poppy over your, on your left side over your heart. To you guys, because everything's flipped when I do these lives, this is going to look like it's my right side, but it's not. It's my left side, hence my wedding and engagement ring. But when I take still shots, or when I put this on YouTube, it'll be reversed and the proper way around. So, how is everyone? How has your week been? Do I look a bit different today without the green skin? Last week's live was great, except I was so frustrated. One of the reasons I was late was because I haven't used liquid latex in years, since before I even moved here. So not only have I not used it in so long, I didn't look it up to see how to use it again, so I didn't remember. And so I was trying to build my nose and build my chin, and running out of time. And then I let it dry, but I didn't think to go like, to open my mouth. So when I opened it and it was already dry, because it dries kind of like glue, then it was like, so I had to crack it a little bit here so I was able to talk. But then my chin got loose and it was like sliding down, and you could see my skin where I had to like dab it green. And then it kept like I kept putting a little bit more liquid latex inside and trying to stick it, but it was too thick for it to dry in there, because you got to do it in layers. So I finally just went and put like some super glue in there and stuck it on, and that's why I was like so once I stuck it on, then my chin was on, I was fine to go. But I was like, no, what do? We're already late, and I'm having a wardrobe malfunction, and like it's important to the to the piece. So so once I got it glued on there, though, it went well, and I hope you guys enjoyed last week's. I think it looked really cool. I think I worked more on the design of the set and me and Erica's outfits and everything else than I did on the content, besides doing the fortunes, which I had no idea what your fortunes would be, because Erica printed those off and put them into the cauldron, so I had no idea what any of them said. So it was just as much of a surprise for me as it was for you guys, as you got your fortunes. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go back and watch the Halloween special last week on Sunday. It's under my live videos. It's Season 9, Episode 2. And I see that Steven is watching, my what's a positive word I was gonna say delicious husband, but I'm biased and I don't think everybody thinks he's delicious, but yeah, I was trying to think of a positive word to fill in there. So my amazing husband is watching right now because he is not going out with his mates tonight because some of them are away, some of them just got off work, and yeah, so he's at home. And we will do, instead of me going on the cross trainer after, I'm going to do, me and Steve will walk the dogs after I'm done my live to get our exercise in. Auntie Diane says, so much snow in the last 2 days and still coming down here in GP. A lot of accidents on the highways. Winter is definitely here. Well, you know, the accidents on the highways, I actually showed Steve and his sister and dad and brother-in-law like pictures of, there's like this big crash at like 3 in the afternoon Alberta time on the QE2, which is the Queen Elizabeth II. It's the busiest highway and most accidents between Edmonton and Calgary. And we saw like but it boggles the mind that every year in Canada, and I'm sure other places, drivers do this. It's like you've never driven in winter before. When the snow comes, slow down, take it easy. Like, why do they do this? It's like you think that they just like forgot how to drive. Every year it's the same thing. There's so many accidents right when the snow first comes because people drive like the snow isn't there. All you gotta do is slow down and take it easy. Snow is slippery, just like rain and ice. And I mean, they do it here too. They drive too fast on rain. You don't realize about hydroplaning and different, yeah, it's just ridiculous. But I'm not surprised of all the accidents when you get the first snowfalls in Canada. Tyla says, hello, and thank you for lending her the tiger onesie. That was for Halloween, so she wanted to be Tigger, because that's one of her nicknames, Tig. And I hope it fit, I hope it went well, and that she had a lovely Halloween. We did as well here, well, because we did the live on Sunday and Halloween was Monday, we didn't do a lot for Halloween on Monday, so we enjoyed the other days of Saturday reading the kids' stories and then Sunday doing the live. That was our Halloween treat. So, but yes, Tyler, you're very welcome, and hello. Hello to you and everyone else who said hello and everyone else who's watching this, whether live right now or at a later time. So, yeah, Remembrance Day. So, in the past, a lot of us, especially in Canada or even here in England, would have our grandpas or great-grandpas, or depending on how old you are, that have fought in the war, because there was a point where, I don't know if it was the same here, but in Canada there was a point where if you were 16 or over and able-bodied, you were drafted into the war whether you wanted to be or not, unless you had something specific that prevented you from doing it. So my grandpa, my dad's dad, and his brother, he only had one brother, fought in World War II. Their dad before them fought in World War I. The really cool thing is that Wellington, so my great-grandpa, he was he fought in World War I, but when World War II happened, he was older, and, you know, someone that old wouldn't necessarily serve, but because his 2 boys were going to war, he said, if my boys are going, I'm going too. So that's a fun fact that I've told you guys before, probably every year, but I still think it's really cool. Not cool as in war is cool, because, you know, I'd rather it be a different fun fact, like he was a peacekeeper because we didn't have these stupid wars. But I think it's very interesting that my great-grandpa, Wellington McDermott, fought in both World War I and World War II. Luckily, he survived, as did my grandpa and my grandpa's brother, but I don't think anybody's ever the same after being in a war. So, I mean, that does not just the people who are on the front lines fighting, but even people who have had to go through the devastation, like in Ukraine right now, where you're there, where your houses are crumbled and ruins and you see dead bodies and your life is just never the same. So, mother-in-law Trisha says, hi, I'll watch you tomorrow, just consoling our dogs with the fireworks. Love to you and your Canadian family. Thank you, Mom, Trisha, and yes, enjoy this tomorrow. The thing that she's talking about with consoling the dogs is that yesterday was Guy Fawkes Day, and we've talked about this again last year, but it's like bonfire night, so there's lots of fireworks, and people buy fireworks to set off at home, so like the week or 2 leading up to bonfire night, and then even a few days after, if not a week or more, people will set off fireworks, and dogs, they don't really like them, so yeah, it's a long time. I love fireworks, but it's a long time I wish they would just designate it to like the day before, the day after or something, because it's a long 2 weeks to console our dogs with the fireworks and their little ears and stuff like that. So very frustrating. So I don't know for sure. I'm going to assume he probably did, unless he had some reason that he didn't. So if any of my relatives on my mom's side are watching and know, I don't know if my Grandpa John, actually hang on, so he died when my grandma was pregnant with my mom, and my mom was born in 1949, so that was already after the war. But he might have been too sick, or I don't think he was too old, but he might have been too sick to fight in the war, because he had colitis and colon cancer. So I don't think he fought in the war. I don't remember any stories about him fighting in the war. So I don't know about military on my mom's side. I can't think of anybody who I know is in the military. But I know on my dad's side, so great uncle Fred, that was my grandpa's brother. Fred's son, Danny, was in the military for a lot of his life. And then his son, Sean, was in the military as well. So it goes in that family. Auntie Diane said, yesterday we went to Cassie's mother's funeral. Her 2 sisters came, one from Dubai and also one from Birmingham, England. Oh, well, that's cool that she lives in Birmingham. That's like not close, but it's close enough that we could get together. Is that anywhere near you guys? Oh, okay, so I just said that. Yeah, it's, if Steve's still on, he can tell me exactly how far. I'm going to say about an hour away, an hour drive. So Steve's best friend, who I've talked about, and he lives here in Middlewich now, and he has for quite a few years, Stuart, he is actually from Birmingham. So yes, Birmingham in the States. But when you have said something for hundreds of years, you become lazy with the way that you say it. Just like how if somebody asks me something and I don't know the answer, I just say, instead of I don't know, I just, So they don't say Birmingham. They just say Birmingham. Because lots of those places, it's just about, you know, being lazy with your speech, so it becomes Birmingham. Yes, so Stuart's from Birmingham. I have been there for a few things that, yeah, so it is close enough that, yes, I could visit her or such. And now Cassie, okay, so Auntie Diane and Uncle Arthur have 100 kids. No, they don't. They have a bunch of kids, but my cousin, their son Travis, Cassie is Travis, wait, hang on. No. Sam, their youngest, Sam. Wait, now I'm confused. Cassie is Sam's girlfriend, right? Okay, so Daniel and Lisa, Travis, and then, yeah, Auntie Diane, tell me, I'm pretty sure Cassie is, yeah, Sam's, okay, she's correct. Okay, so Sam, my cousin Samuel, his girlfriend is Cassie, and her mom passed away a few days ago. So the funeral was yesterday. I did see that on Facebook. So heartfelt condolences to that family, as well as my godmother, my Auntie Darlene. So she's my dad's brother, Uncle Henry. He was married to Auntie Darlene for years. They've been separated now for quite a few years as well, but they are my godparents. So Auntie Darlene, we were always close with her family too. So her parents and her 2 brothers, they were uncles and grandma and grandpa to us. They were the Larsons, that's their name. And I remember going, not only were we close with them, I also went to Grandma Larson and Grandpa Larson's funeral. Actually, Grandma Larson was the first dead body I ever touched. I touched her hand when she was in the casket. And just another fun fact for you. And it just felt cold and rubbery. Like if you go like this with your hand and move the skin, that's what it felt like, except it was like, you know, hard underneath, and it's just a different feeling because it's very cold. But then Uncle Ronnie, one of her brothers, who was great fun, and he passed away after my kids were already born, because I remember he gave them, one time I drove him up to Grand Prairie from Edmonton, and he gave them each a stuffed animal, and I still have one of them that I loved. It's this bear, and it has, I know I need to put it with the autumn decorations because it has leaves on it. It looks really cool. So Uncle Ronnie passed away after I had kids, but when they were quite young. And then, so there's only Auntie Darlene and Uncle Dennis left. So I believe it's her older brother. And actually, I don't even know, she might be the youngest, so they might both be older brothers. But anyways, Auntie Darlene's brother, Uncle Dennis, passed away a couple days ago, so my heart goes out to that family as well. and anybody else who has lost somebody. And in the birthdays, well, today is my son-in-law James's birthday. So my stepdaughter Amy, Steve's daughter, her husband, he is having his birthday today. So happy birthday, James. And there was somebody else's birthday that I just saw. Oh, Charlotte. Charlotte is Steve's niece. So when we went to Bridgewater this week. Well, we went to Somerset yesterday and came back today. That's where Steve's dad lives, and we went there because in Somerset is a county. Part of it, there's Bridgewater, and we went there for the Bridgewater Carnival. And also Steve's sister Helen and her husband David were there as well. And they have a daughter. They only have one daughter, and her name is Charlie. And Charlie's birthday is next week. So happy birthday to Charlie next week. But it's before my next live, so. Aaron, now 14. Wait. Oh, yes. But my next live is on the 12th. So Aaron's will be, wait, now I got to do my maths again. Wait, so Remembrance Day is 11th, which is Friday, 12/13. So my next live is on the 13th. And my cousin Erin, who was a couple weeks ago, sometimes she messages on these too, and then we talked about her ponytail, her palm tree ponytail that she had. Anyways, Erin is 2 years older than me, and her birthday is November 14th. And then her brother Kevin, which is also my cousin, his is like I think November 17th, something like that. So they are coming up as well in November. Oh, and Auntie Emily, my dad's oldest sister. It's his younger sister, but it's the oldest of the girls in that family. Because there's 5 boys and 2 girls, just my Auntie Joan and my Auntie Emily. And Auntie Emily's birthday is November 23rd. I'm just making sure I haven't missed any comments. It makes it so much better when you guys comment, because then I have things to talk about. But I also, and I thought I had time, so I was about to cut them up and make them in a bucket or something, but I didn't have time to cut them up, but I still have them here. Remember those sheets of random words, like if I fail to think of something to talk about? So I have those to jog my brain if I want to talk about something that, works. Or, yeah, so, oh, Auntie Diane says, and her, November 27th. See, I do have a calendar. My dad used to keep track of everybody's birthdays and anniversaries and everything else, and then every year he would recopy it onto a new calendar. And I do have all these written down. Auntie Diane said, so my cousin Kevin's birthday isn't the 17th, it's the 19th. And also so in that family, so my cousin Kevin and Aaron, they have another sister. Well, they have 2 sisters, Tammy and Maureen, but Tammy's daughter, Kalina, her birthday's on the 19th, as well as Sam, who we just talked about, his girlfriend, Cassie, who just lost her mom. So lots of birthdays coming up in November in the family on my dad's side. I'm sure there's probably some on my mom's side, but I don't have the calendar here to look, but lots of November birthdays. Here in this house in November, it's Owen's birthday is coming up as well, November 25th. That one's easy for me to remember because it's a month before Christmas, so it's the 25th, but it's November instead of December. So speaking of which, Christmas is like around the corner. Now listen, it is about Remembrance Day. It is about taking that time and making sure that we remember those who fought. And me and Steve have an agreement that I won't put up decorations until after November 11th. That doesn't mean that I won't bring them down from the loft. So I have taken down like there's part of me that wants to keep it decorated for autumn until the end of November because it's still autumn. But at the same time, my plan is, and I've told you guys this before, like I don't like when I start decorating like December 1st or in December, and then every day when I'm supposed to be enjoying the Christmas season, I'm busy putting more decorations and cleaning and making things look nice. And then by Christmas, everything looks nice and I get to enjoy it just to take it down because everyone's like, Christmas is over now. Why do you still have your decorations up? So I want everything to be done after the 11th, but before December 1st. So come December 1st, I want to be able to enjoy the 24 days of Christmas. If I'm baking, fine. If I'm reading Christmas stories, fine. but I don't want to have to do any of the decorating. I want to feel the Christmas spirit. I want to be in the decoration. So I am going to be decorating my butt off starting right after. But I'm going to bring this stuff down from the loft and maybe even organize it and whatever, because it's a lot of stuff and I like it like that. I like it looking like crazy decorated and everything else, but it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of days and a lot of time, and I'm not waiting until December 1st to do it, let alone the shopping and not leaving those things to the last minute. So my mom says Auntie Molly on November 16th. So that is my mom's oldest sister, who passed away when I was 19, and she passed away February 2nd, 1998. So I was 19. So that is, she passed away too young. She was a nurse, and yeah, that is, it's been a while since she passed away. But as I believe, all of our loved ones are still around us. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, actually, and they were telling me about, they don't know if they believe in an afterlife per se, and then they were talking about some sciencey stuff, and I was thinking, I forget this, because I know what I believe, and I don't push it on anyone to the point that I don't expect anyone to believe what I believe. But as I told them, I've had too many experiences to deny that there's something else, and that's okay, because we're all on our own journeys. So we will come to this in our own time. But I forgot that so many people, even people who I'm close with, don't necessarily believe in an afterlife or believe that their loved ones are around them, or they don't get to feel it the same way that I do. And, you know, but like I also told them that the thing is that just like it's hard to understand why there's narcissists and why there's certain things. But if you believe, like I believe, that we're here to learn and grow and we're here to do certain things, which I believe that we have, there is free will, so we can go off track if we want to, because we can go A, B, wherever we want to go. But I think before we get here, we have a kind of a plan of what we want to do in this lifetime, what our goals are, and what we want to learn. So if my goal was to come down here and move the technology world forward, I will probably be one of those people who are very science-based and don't believe in the spiritual stuff, because I want to put all my energy and focus and everything into the technology and moving that forward. So my point is that not everybody needs to be spiritual, not everybody needs to believe in this stuff, because they wouldn't be who they are if they believed in all this woo-woo stuff. So even if all this stuff is true, which I believe it is, we need those people who are skeptical, those people who don't believe it and everything else, because they need to do their stuff to be on their journey to get to where they need to be for everything to, work out, and for us to learn our lessons, for them to learn their lessons. So yeah, but it's funny. I don't know why I forgot that, not everybody believes the same things as I do. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It was just a weird. Anyway, so Auntie Dan says, I find it takes longer putting the decorations up, but pulling them down afterwards can all be done in one day. Yeah, absolutely. The other thing about it, especially if you want it to be different than last year, some people put like certain things in the same place every year, and that can be quick and easy. And there is some things that I like in the same place, but for the most part, I want it to feel and be different. I like change, right? So you don't want it to be, well, again, some people do want it to be the same, but some of us don't want it to be the same every year. So, yeah, part of it taking longer is just wanting it. Where am I going to place this? How am I going to place this? Yeah, and then not ruining your walls and stuff with like putting hooks everywhere, especially because that you only want the decorations up for Christmas season. You don't want the hooks there the rest of the year. So, my parents used to decorate the whole house in one night, like after we went to bed. It was so crazy that they could do like even the ceiling things and everything. Like we would go to bed, and then in the morning it was Christmas in our house. It was just crazy. But Mom and Dad would work together, and I mean that's part of it. Knock on wood. I'm not knocking anybody in this house, but for the most part I do it all myself. So, it can be like, not only that, it's not like I get to just focus on it. I mean, everybody still needs to eat, and, laundry still needs to be done. And even if they can help out with those things, there's always like, Mom, where's this? Mom, what's that? Mom, can you help me with this? And so, yeah, there's all those, like, life in the way of me trying to do all the decorating as well. So, but I did take down all the autumn stuff. It is not up in the loft yet. It's sitting up on the landing waiting to go. That is the worst part for me. I try to make the bins light, but at the same time, I don't want like 100 bins, so I like the good sized bins. But the worst part is passing the bins down from the loft to the landing and then taking them all the way down the stairs because they can be quite heavy. And yes, I usually get help from I'll go up in the loft, I get them all, pull them all over to the loft hatch, like the opening, and then I'll pass them down to someone. So somebody does take them down and set them on the landing for me, so I get help with that. But then I get down the ladder, and then I carry the big things down the stairs and bring them into the dining room, and then, yeah, the rest is me. So, but I don't want to complain because I'm glad that my body is able to do those things. I will need help when if and when my body isn't able to do those things. I'm still going to want to decorate, whether it's just me sitting with a stick pointing in my wheelchair saying, I put that over there. No, I said over there. And that's part of the reason people don't help me either, is because I'm bossy and I like things a certain way, and they don't want to, put up with me. But they love it when it's done, and I like to think I do a pretty good job at it. But I will still want to do it even when I can't do it myself, and I'll want help. Any requests for my lives for Christmas? Obviously, I will do some reading. I'm hoping to have on, again, in that family, Auntie Diane. Some of you may or may not remember that her and Uncle Arthur's son, Daniel, he is married to Lisa, and now she's Lisa McDermott because she married my cousin Daniel McDermott. And Lisa's dad, Lenny Hill, him and his wife, they were both teachers, and Lenny wrote a book called The Christmas Penguin, and I was thinking of not only like telling you guys about it on here again, but I would like to have like at least 10-minute interviews with the authors that I know personally, and Lenny is one of them, so I'd like to do that as part of my Christmassy lives. And then, yeah, so reading stories to kids, and we might do a baking Christmas one. So, but if you have any other ideas or suggestions or requests for me in the Christmas season, then let me know. Oh, excuse me. But until then, we will focus on November and Remembrance Day. And for my American friends and family, there is their Thanksgiving coming up this month as well. So there's that. That's another reason that it's like weird to take down the autumn decorations too. Like I'm glad I'm Canadian and our Thanksgiving is in October. Because in November, like that is a quick transition, right? Like lots of Canadians, besides, Remembrance Day, lots of Canadians will take their Halloween stuff down right after Halloween and start getting the Christmas stuff ready. But I guess if you're in the States, you're not going to do the Christmas stuff till after Thanksgiving, which is like, I think like usually around the 25th of November or the 21st, like somewhere around there. And then, yeah, that's getting close. That's only a few days to decorate. There is, like I said, there is part of me that could decorate like more simple, but Christmas is the one where you like, I mean Halloween as well, but Christmas is the one where you want to like go all out, where you want it to just like feel magic and feel like a completely different place. I just love it so much. I just love the magical feeling at Christmas, both with the people, with the places, with the magic in the air. Oh, do you know, okay, so if you believe in, Auntie Diane says, hang on, did I read the last comment? Done in one day. Oh, yeah. Which one of your girls sang for us on your live? That was Aurora. So we could do Aurora singing. Allison does sing as well. So would you like Aurora to sing something? Yeah, we can definitely do that. I'm waiting for her and Allie to write me a little jingle. Like I want a little bit of music or a jingle, something that goes with my lives, like at the beginning, because I want to put them on YouTube, but I want to just put up a little title, like the little cartoon Bitmoji that I put on, so it'll just say, like it'll show that, it'll play a little bit of music, and then it'll put my episode up. And that's what I'm waiting for, to put them on YouTube. So for your Christmas special, they should get together and sing Christmas carols for us. That would be wonderful. Oh God, yeah. And then when I'm rich and we'll have a piano, I can pretend to play it because I can't play the piano, but we can just sit there and they can do Christmas carols. Oh my God, I am so Martha Stewart. I just wish, I mean, honestly, I know that everybody can do it now because of YouTube and all these crafting things and everything else, but in my heart, I am like a little bit like Martha Stewart, like the cooking and the baking and the crafts and the specials and everything else. I love it. I want to do all of those things, and yes. I could even do on one of them, I can show you, like do like plants to show you how to do a little quick display with some Christmas plants in a pot or something. Even like you can even have it in the house on the table. So, oh, so many ideas. Okay, so there was something else I was gonna say. Oh, Auntie Dan says yes. Regarding the, like, I think Martha Stewart and stuff. So yeah, okay, I will talk to the girls about singing, and I'll get them to start practicing now, whichever song they want for Christmas. And decorating, lots of decorations, feeling different. Oh, I know it doesn't say. So all that spiritual woo-woo stuff, if you believe in like spirits and everything, they do end up celebrating like Christmas and stuff like that, and Hanukkah and stuff. Not because they actually celebrate those things in the afterlife, because there's not really like a religion in the afterlife. We all go to the same place and yada yada. But what it is that because they still love us and they miss us as well. Although for them time is different, so what feels like like many years for us until we see our loved ones again, for them it's like a few minutes. So, but at the same time, they still love us and they want to be around us and everything. So at Christmas, because they know we're together, they know we're thinking of them, they come closer as well. The veil is thinner. That's why there is that magic and that feeling in the air as well. And we think about our loved ones, they think about us, and they're closer to us in times like that. So that is another like beautiful thing. So they look forward to that time of year. Although again, like I don't need to wrap my mind around how time works on the other side. I'll figure it out when I'm there. But I know that it's not exactly the same. So it's not like they have a year in a calendar and they're marking off the days. But they will be closer to us during. Hey, did you know also that? Okay, this isn't supposed to be about Christmas. This is supposed to be about Remembrance Day. Last thing, okay. Did you know that it traditionally, European, like here and stuff, it was Christmas time that they told ghost stories? And maybe I'll look up why that is again and everything. I can't remember. But yeah, ghost stories that we tell at Halloween and stuff like that, traditionally it was told at Christmas time. And I think it had to do with remembering the dead and everything else. But yeah, just fun fact. But, you know, my brain is not like my dad's or like Steve's, where it remembers like all the things. I learn and I understand and I have my opinions about things, but I don't always retain the facts and information. So I would be like, hey, did you know this? And it's like, oh, well, why? Well, I don't remember all that. I just remember I heard this. And they gave me enough information for me to believe that it was true. So, yeah. So, let me have another drink. Boy, can I ramble. This is a good thing, though. Because if you like me and my rambling, then you can watch this. And if you don't like me and my rambling and my voice drives you crazy, then you don't need to watch this. You get a choice. So, yeah. But I do feel like this is like a visit with you guys, and to some people that I talk to, it feels like they feel like they've kept up and what's going on. So that makes me happy too, because then I feel like even if we haven't had a conversation back and forth, but you've watched this and you feel like you are caught up with me, then, you know, although I'd like to catch up with all of you guys as well. So, well, so, yeah, I've gotten back on track. No, not on track, I should say. I've gotten back with, like, Samantha and our group with, like, working out and stuff like that with, like, putting in my weight every day and everything. And so this week I'm going to work on getting my eating back on track. And then I want to start doing, like, yoga and shred again, like I've said. But, ooh, and I'm looking forward to, like, this winter with the new windows and doors and, like, seeing, like, the difference in the last few years with, like, no drafts. Not drafts. Drafts. They sound the same. It's hard to say that, you know, a giraffe and a draft. But, yeah, so no drafts coming through the windows and the doors while they're closed. So we'll see how good it is like that too. And the electricians are coming this month. So I know they will, like, the lights are put in the living room and dining room, but they're just not connected yet. I think I told you guys that already. So I know they have to do that, but like, I don't even know what the next priority is, because, like, I can't wait until there's lights up in the loft. Because, like, again, getting all the decorations down and organizing and stuff up there is so annoying, because I have to take an extension lead and I have to have all these lights up there that I have to plug in and try and see things. Or if I'm going to another area of the loft, then I need to drag all my snake of lights with me. And it's really annoying. So I can't wait till there's power and everything up there. And if you've been keeping up with my gardening life, it's approximately, because they say 4 weeks from when we purchased to installation for the greenhouse, but Steve hasn't had a confirmation for what day they're coming to install it yet, so I just went off of the 4 weeks and said it's about the 19th, so that's what my countdown is for. So if it happens on the 19th, then it is 14 days left until the greenhouse, so 2 weeks. So I need to get everything ready out there, which I have been working on, but also I one day will have power to the greenhouse as well. Not only will that be good for a little powered heater, which I use on days that it goes below 0, but also for light in there as well. Although Steve says, like, as if I don't spend enough time in the garden now to have lights in my greenhouse, I don't ever have to come into the house. And today Ann said, caught part of the parade yesterday, watch a bit with Auntie Joan, thanks for the live stream. Yeah, it was only 20 minutes of like a 2-hour one, but I took some videos of the floats and stuff, like some of the good ones, and I will be posting some of those up when I get to it. They're on my phone, I just want to watch them and then I'll put them up. So I think I'll put them up separately so that people can just watch them individually. Like, it's only a couple seconds as each one goes by, but there is quite a few, and some they're just so good. Some of them are like so good, like they just put so much work in, and then the different music with it, and it's loud and it's awesome. So I hope you did enjoy that impromptu live yesterday. If you didn't, it's only 20 minutes of us at the Bridgewater Carnival yesterday with the parade, and huge. Well, what I read was that it's some of the largest and most illuminated parade floats in Europe, or maybe it's one of the biggest parades in Europe, or something like that. So yeah, very interesting. If you watch it, there's for some reason when I was watching it today, at about 5 minutes in, there's like some kind of glitch where it was like watch again, and I'm like, what are you talking about? This is 20 minutes. It's not 5 minutes. So I had to like skip it somehow and then watch the rest of it. So if it stops for some reason after 5 minutes something, don't think that's the end of it. It's not. There's more after that. So. Yes, so I hope you enjoy that, and you get to see Steve and his dad and his sister, her husband, and their friend Leslie and Rob, and you see Leslie, Steve's sister's friend Leslie. It was her birthday yesterday, but also you get to see her dancing to one of the songs, and it's very cute. So, yes. November already. Like, do you guys remember when it was spring and we were like so excited that summer was going to be here, and then now it's like already gone, and it's like autumn is almost done and it's going to be winter soon. And for you in Alberta where it has snowed already, you guys already feel like it's winter, and it's so weird because one of my friends in Ontario keeps posting, and it's like June weather there. Like, it's like one day it was 19, the next day it was 21. It was like 15 or 17 overnight or early in the morning, or like something crazy. Like, what's happening in Ontario? I have no idea. But I just need the greenhouse to be here and in place before we have a frost day here, which at this time of year we could have frost any time. But I keep watching the weather and it seems to be okay. It's just that like all my bananas and cannas and stuff are still out, and that's fine if we have no frost, but I have them like all shoved back and things in the way, and everything's just disorganized. You know, when we were getting the kitchen renovated, and so everything from the kitchen had to be in the dining room and entranceway and everywhere, which if you guys have done home renovations, you know how much of a chaotic thing it'll be. Yeah, except that because everything's in chaos right now around the greenhouses, so many of my plants that need to be overwintered are pushed back and around and everything else. So it's going to be insane if I get a below 0 day and I don't have the greenhouse, because I'm going to have to go and try and like cover everything somehow with like fleece and blankets and sheets, and like, it's just going to be chaos if I don't get the greenhouse before the frost. So Steve is going to call tomorrow and talk to them, because it's been 2 weeks and they haven't called us to talk to us about a date that it is getting made. Mom says it's -12 here, which is in Alberta, and in Edmonton, Alberta, and that is, and Auntie Dan says it's -15 there, which is Grand Prairie, Alberta, which is 4.5 hours north of Edmonton, and that's driving time. That's just how we say distance in Canada, by how long it takes us to drive there, average. So that is, so you guys start at 1 o'clock because you guys just changed your clock, so we're back on 7 hours apart. So it is 1:39 there in the afternoon, and that is the temperatures for you guys. And yes, I did see the pictures. Mom sent me pictures from her place with snow, and I saw on my cousin Michelle's Facebook her grandson playing in the snow today in Grand Prairie. So yeah, they have snow, and that's the thing about Alberta. It doesn't feel like it's early to get out the Christmas stuff because it feels like winter so early. So yeah, what else is new with you on this beautiful Sunday? It's been raining here. Actually, it was really nice that it didn't rain. It did rain yesterday earlier in the day, but it didn't rain at all for the parade, which is great. It was still chilly on the hands and everything else, but it didn't rain, so that was nice, and it worked out really well. Today, it's been raining like all day, and I can't say much for the 4 hours like it takes to drive back from Steve's dad's house. Well, 3 to 4 hours, depending on how traffic is. I was asleep for most of it, so poor Steve had to just drive home quiet for the most part, because except my snoring, which he said I was doing as a professional, and the rain, so he had to drive home in that. But yeah, hi Cheryl, hope you are well. And yeah, what else is there to talk about? So I don't necessarily have a theme for next Sunday. Like I said, it'll be November 13th. But so my cousin Erin, whose birthday is on the 14th, she is gone to I'm pretty sure they've already left, but she's going to Florida is that Disneyland, Disney World, but she's there for her birthday this year, so that's very exciting. And I was 44, so she's 46, but I'm pretty sure she took her husband and kids as well, so I think it's a family thing, but it's also around her birthday, so she said it was for her birthday. So I think actually she might even put it on the comments on here a few weeks ago that she told us that that's what she was doing for her birthday, and the time has come, so that is where she is gone, and very exciting. I've never been to either one, but one day perhaps. But I still enjoy the things that we do in life, like even the carnival yesterday was something exciting and fun, and fireworks and stuff, so yep. So, like I said, I gotta get back on the eating right this week and stop filling my face with stuff that I don't need. It doesn't mean that I don't get to eat. Okay, the point is, like, this is the thing. So, say there's a birthday and there's a piece of chocolate cake, and, like, I would like to say maybe, like, a big piece of chocolate cake, like, and maybe a second one. It doesn't mean I don't get chocolate cake, but maybe just a normal, like, a little sliver of chocolate cake that is done in 2 or 3 bites. Because then I'm still letting myself have the thing, but I'm going to savor and enjoy each of those little bites more, because I'm not just shoveling in all this chocolate cake into my mouth. So it's not about depriving myself of things that I want. It's about being smart with my portion sizes. I worked so hard last year, and I would walk by a mirror, and every time I walked by, I would think, oh my God, you're looking good. Not, oh, it's one of those days, and then suck in and look to the side and think, gotta work on that. No, that's where I am now again. But last year, I was so happy with the progress I made. And it's not about being fat or thin or anything like that. Be whatever you want. You're great how you are. And, like, there's so many people I love just the way they are. If they change, they change. If they don't, they don't. Like, it's not about that. This isn't about pressuring anybody. But I know that I worked hard. I liked what I saw. And that's what I want to be. I want to be the healthiest version of me, both in all ways, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. I want to be the best version of me. So I worked so hard last year and got to a point where I was quite happy with myself, and I want that back. But you don't just get that. You don't just get things in life, do ya? No, we don't. So many people think they get things in life. They expect them. They think they're entitled. They think they are owed things in life. But if you want something in life, you need to put in the work. And I am super lazy, but if you really want something, you'll do the work. So I need to get back and do the work that I did last year, because I was really proud of myself. I was really happy with my progress, and I can do it again. So I will. It's funny because as we talked about with Halloween and Wicca and witchcraft and it being like a religion and a lifestyle, there is no religion or lifestyle that I want to live specifically, because I am too lazy to stick to rituals and routines and rules and all that crap. Like, I just can't do it. So I'm glad that I'm a free spirit and that I dabble in a little bit of everything and such, because I just would not be able to stick with something when it's like, you got to do this, and on this day you got to do that, and you can't eat this, and you can't. It's like, oh my God, no, I just can't do it. So, but with the being fit and everything else, I want this. So I'm going to do what I need to do to get there. And I'll encourage Steve, not push him, because again, everybody has their own individual journey. You're great the way you are. But if you want to change those, and I know Steve does, then I will, instead of being a feeder who feeds him, lots of yummy food, I will still feed him, but I'll feed him better portions and better, and help him have better control and stop buying snacks, because I'm also the one who does the grocery shopping, so it is partly my fault because I am a feeder. So yes, I will encourage him and help him, and I will do my journey as well, because we were doing mindful chocolate cake. Yes. Cheryl says, hard not to indulge. You are an inspiration. Thanks, haven't done it yet. I just was shoving deliciousness in my face this weekend. Like, I ate a whole bag of candy floss yesterday at the parade. Like, my sister-in-law, my brain's parted, hang on. Helen, my sister-in-law Helen bought a bag for them to share, bought a bag for the kids to share, and she bought me one. And I ate the whole thing myself. And that was after a burger and chips. And after, like, well, 2 McDonald's breakfast sandwiches. We didn't really have lunch. Oh yeah, we did have lunch. We had like chicken and potatoes and veg for lunch. Yeah, I ate a lot. So yeah, but I gotta get back on the good portion control. So it's hard work and maintaining it. Summer was hard, and now Christmas is coming. Need willpower to do portion control. And Cheryl says, I hear you. So Auntie Diane said the thing before, and Cheryl says, I hear you. Actually, I would say it's even worse in Canada, because there's so many more options for bad food, and the baking that Canadians do for Christmas, I love it. Don't get me wrong, there's so many like recipes and everything else. And I know, like, with Pinterest and everything else, it's becoming more of a, like, other countries doing those kinds of things too. But we don't do as much baking here like we do in Canada. There's so much Christmas baking, and then you want to eat it all. So Christmas is a more, yeah. And Steve's family isn't as big here. So our circle's not as big here as it is in Canada. So there's like so many more people to visit and spend time with at Christmas and everything in Canada. So then there's more food that goes around. And yeah, so I definitely think that I have an easier time here with those things than in Canada. But there's no reason that we can't think of cute, sweet treats for Christmas that are a little healthier. And like I said, even indulging, it's like, oh my God. So, okay, Subway, oatmeal raisin cookies are my favorite cookies, and they have been for years. So Subway, I don't know if it's the same in Canada, but Subway got rid of the oatmeal raisin cookies. Very disappointing. However, they got these lemon drizzle cookies. They got these lemon cookies, and they were so good. But the best thing about them is that a whole cookie, you could have like a smidgen of a cookie, and it was so like delicious and sweet. Not too sweet, but sweet enough that that little smidgen of cookie made you feel like you had enough dessert. Just by having a piece of it, you felt like that was enough after your sub. And I love those cookies because they were really good for portion control, because I just needed that little bite, and it would last a long time, one cookie. Well, Subway just went and got rid of the lemon cookies too. What the hell, Subway? That's not cool. Not cool at all. So, like I said, I don't know if you guys had the lemon cookies in Canada, but the other thing is here in Manchester, well, just on the edge of Manchester, so Greater Manchester, there is a place called Salford, which is where Media City is, where our son Owen lives, because it's like where lots of the TV stations, and well, it's called Media City. I think you can figure it out. And he works in media, so again, you can figure it out. But anyways, over in Salford on the other side of Manchester, where Owen lives, they've opened a Wendy's. I love Wendy's. So we only get Wendy's when we're in Canada or America, but we haven't been to America as a family. And, but they opened a Wendy's here now. We haven't been yet, but oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So again, that is not on the list, but that'll be a treat day once we put in some work. So yeah, we'll see. But I know what you mean. There's always an excuse, Christmas, summer, but how good is it when you do the work at Christmas and summer comes and you actually are like, oh my God, I look great. I have a friend, Chloe. Shout out to Chloe and all the hard work that she's done. She's like, I actually kept my New Year's resolution, and since January, she is down, oh, I can't remember, is it 80 pounds? Like, she looks great. She looked great before. She took, like, amazing photos. She's a beautiful lady. And she had, like, naturally, like, hourglass figure. She looked great. But you can see how healthy she is. She's not just lost weight, like, she's working out, she's working hard. You can see the healthiness in her, and as long as she's happy. But it's not what I'm congratulating on her about. What I'm saying is not just the way she looks. It's that she had a plan, she had a goal, and she stuck to it since her New Year's resolution. And that, you know, that alone, no matter what our resolutions are, it is hard to stick with something. And so shout out to Chloe and all the work that she's done. Cheryl says, my husband just came in the door with A&W. I know, I dream about A&W. I dream about and Taco Time. I dream about these places because I can't get them here. And the worst part is that I don't really eat in my dreams, which I told you guys before. So there's always something that, like, I'm like about to eat and then something happens and I don't get to eat. So I do miss A&W as well. But that's what I'm saying. It's so much easier here to eat healthier because I don't have all those options. And we don't live in a city. So even, like, the takeaway and all that, like going and getting the food, it's not, I don't have as many options. So it's the same thing of when I lived in Canada, actually, the last 7 years before I moved here, I was living in the country. So if I went to the city, then there was options there, but most days when I was just out at home, or we had a restaurant too, so you know what I mean, I wasn't eating as poorly, but it is easier when you don't have those temptations. I can't remember when I was listening to something back in the day, I don't know if it was like The Biggest Loser or something like that, but it was talking about, like, might have been Dr. Phil, it was something, but it was talking about, like, how this person who wanted to lose weight, on their drive to work, they went by, like, so many McDonald's and different fast food restaurants and everything. So instead of going that route, even though it was the quickest route from his home to his work, he started taking a different route where he wouldn't pass those signs and see them, because it's just the temptation. Because even if you just see a sign for it, if you've had that before, you know the taste, it comes back to you and you want it. And yeah, so again, those things, a week or two ago, I did go to McDonald's, and what did I do? Instead of getting, like, a double quarter pounder or something like that, I actually just got a cheeseburger Happy Meal, and I hadn't had that in a long time, but it was just enough fries, just enough little sandwich, and except that they were going to charge me 40p for extra pickles. I was like, never mind then. I'm not paying 40p just for you to put 2 more pickles on my sandwich. So, but I just had a kid's Happy Meal, and it was just like a nice treat. But it was still eating McDonald's, so it was still, like, not healthy, but it wasn't the same as what I would do if I got, like, a supersize double quarter pounder meal and 6 nuggets, and you know what I mean? So, you know, that's where you can start, is just, yes, it was, yeah, it did get a toy. It was like, I guess it's like, I don't know if it's a game Clue, like they call it Cluedo here, or Clue, but it was like Batman related. So then it was like a tin, and it's like the Joker. It, like, opens. It's like a little tin, like you put mints in or whatever. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It's not something that I wanted. I would have rather had something more interesting, but for somebody it would be cool. But yeah, I do like my tins, but what am I gonna do with a penguin tin? So yeah. In Canada, they have this thing, I don't know if they still have it, but when I worked at McDonald's, it was called the Canadian meal, and it was basically for older people who ate smaller portions, and it was just a cheeseburger, small fries, and a small drink with no toy, but it was also a bit cheaper than the Happy Meal, and it was called the Canadian meal. Again, I don't know if they still have it, but yeah, a lot of older people would get that. Oh, I'll tell you a joke, hang on. So this guy gets his McDonald's, and he's sitting there ready to eat it, and he sees an old couple sit down beside him. They have 1 cheeseburger, 1 set of fries, and 1 drink. He's watching them as he's eating his, and he sees the man cut the cheeseburger in half and set half for him and half for his wife. And then he counts out the fries, and he has half for him and half for his wife. And when the guy who's eating his meal sees this, he goes over and says, I see that you guys are sharing a meal. Do you want me to buy you another meal? I don't mind. And he's like, oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We like to share. And he's like, are you sure? And he's like, okay. And then he goes and sits back down, and he kind of keeps watching them. and he sees the man take a bite of his sandwich and then set it down and eat some of his fries and set it down. He has a sip of the drink, and then he sets it down, and the wife takes a sip of the drink, but she's not touching her food. And he is like, are you sure that you guys don't want me to buy you something? Because I can. He's like, no, sir, it's fine. We like to share everything. And he's like, oh, okay, I understand, but why are you eating yours and she's not eating hers? And then she's like, oh, honey, I'm waiting for the teeth. Ba-dum-boom. Because they share everything. Waiting for the teeth. Get it? I know what comedians say now when they had to do, instead of doing their live shows, they were doing it from, like, you know, what's that app called, Zoom and stuff, like during lockdown and everything, and doing like online, and they don't get the laugh and everything. So I'd like to think that was really funny, and I don't tend to remember all the jokes, but I think that one's funny. So at least humor me, and like Auntie Diane, like give me like a, yeah, exactly. See, just pretend it was funny even if I didn't tell it well. So I don't even know how much time I've been rambling. 54 minutes, almost 55 minutes. So we're almost done. And then me and Steve have to do our exercise, our walk. Oh, and this morning, not this morning, at like 12:30, we had a carvery, which is a big, is a very like widely eaten thing here, which is basically like a roast dinner. So it's like sort of like a buffet. You only get your meat once, but you can usually have more veg if you want. So you go up and it's a roast dinner. So like today they had turkey, beef, or pork, and they give you a few slices of meat. You can have like one slice of each, or 3 slices of one, or whatever, right? You only get so much meat, but they put on your plate, and a bit of stuffing, a bit of a Yorkshire pudding, and then all this veg. And so there's this place that Steve's dad goes to for his meals like that, close to his place. And so usually when we visit him, we'll go there for a Sunday meal before we head back home. And so we had that, and I couldn't even finish my meat. Like, it was about, I did eat too much, and I can really feel it. Like, it's a big meal, even if you take a little. And I even took just a little bit, like a little bite of each veg, like a little bite of the carrots and peas. Oh no, it was the carrots, and then there was the peas and corn, and then there was cheesy broccoli. And I only said just a scoop, like a little scoop, so it's like 2 or 3 bites, but it adds up when you have like a big plate of that. So, oh, and then roasties, like roast potatoes, and then gravy. It was so good, but it was too much. And again, it's yeah. But going to a carvery like that is, like I said, it's a common thing here, and I think it's really great for older people who are used to their Sunday dinners like that, but who wants to make a big Sunday dinner like that if you don't have everybody coming over, and who wants to make it every Sunday. So it's nice that the older people can still get that nice home cooked type dinner. And yeah, if you know a good carvery, it is just as good as home cooked. It's nice. Some of them are yummy, and today my pork was just very, very tender and very juicy and very good. I just couldn't finish it all. However, don't fret, we didn't waste. We got some napkins, and we took the rest of the meat that people couldn't finish, rolled it up in the napkins. It's sitting in the fridge right now for Nova and Lena when we decide to give it to them. So is there again, I do want to have guests for my live, so I need to like start getting my ass in gear with that too. I miss having guests, so if you want to be my guest, or if you have any requests, or you have any ideas for my lives, let me know. And you can message me even if you're not watching this live right now, or you can comment on this even if you're not watching live right now. That's the other thing, is that I'm glad that when somebody writes a comment, I say what they said and then I respond to it, because if it's only a one-way thing, because when I add these to like YouTube and stuff like that, all the comments won't be going with them, but everybody will still get what people were saying when they listen to me saying this person said that and everything else. So yes, it has been a good one, and I have been pretty good at rambling the whole time, and I don't even look that bad. I did just put on fresh makeup, but my hair is like the same hair from sleeping in the car, and yeah, and I changed my clothes just to look like I can pull off looking fresh sometimes. Quite quickly, although I can tell that I'm like quite red for whatever reason. I don't know what that is. Maybe I'm just like shy, and no, I'm not, but yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited, to see you guys again. I enjoyed this live. Don't forget to pay your respects to those who have fought, are fighting, and have died or haven't died, but all the people who are military and our veterans and everybody else coming up this Remembrance Day, November 11th. All right, wear your poppy over your heart and show your support for them. And Mom says bye, love you. I love you too, Mom. And we'll see you guys next Sunday. And yes, have a good week. All right, love you guys.